5 great ideas why and how you should plate your food. You have to first look at the cuisine, you have to look at your restaurant, you have to look at the portion size, you have to look at the price. These remain constants. But now that you have the plate, and when you look at a cuisine, whether it is Indian cuisine, and we spoke about materiality, what are you going to do new? So, the first thing, tip number one, the design of the plate itself. Tasting menus, smaller portions bring bigger value. If a client comes to your place, he doesn't want a big plate of chicken tikka. Maybe he wants a tapa style, 2, 3 places of tikka, something grilled, a small salad which he could share. So, sharing is very much part of that community. Bring different color plates, bring different design, bring varied texture from the same genre of the cuisine. There needs to be diversity, there needs to be individuality, as if this plate was crafted for me. Tip number two, complex design is out. The food story is in. So if you are plating one piece of prawn, the perfection in cooking it, the curl of the prawn or the stick shape of a prawn tempura is more important. The flavor dynamics of whether you want your customer to dip the prawn tempura into a sauce, or can we pour the sauce over, or the sauce becomes the design, is something that comes by the action of the food. So you cannot pour over maybe a soya sauce, it's going to drip all over. But you could plate a mayonnaise, give it design, be true to the food. There is a lot story about changing the texture of the food. But if your main story is about that dish, be true to its authenticity, style, form. How do you bring that onto the plate? Tip number three, how you are going to garnish and assemble that plate. A bit of height, so your quenelle or a noodle base with your protein on top, floating soupy, saucy gravy, or a design through that gravy with flowers, with nature, and one prominent garnish or a multiple of small garnishes will depend on your plate size. But remember, you have to do a lot of this to lot of plates. So create 1 to 5, not more than that, languages of design so that your entire team can execute it. Tip number four, there needs to be small plates, main plates. Salads, desserts are all about showmanship. Create very, very distinct styles, props. There's a lot of dessert being plated right at the table. You could take one part or a master dish, whether it's the ran in an Indian menu, whether it is the dim sum or the sushi or a dessert, which could become a master platter. Think of the core of your menu, which is the signature dishes, which require a lot more emphasis on the table, a bit of showmanship, whether it could just be the ceremony of biryani, could be the ceremony of kebabs. And tip number five, do not marry garnishes or gravy or protein for the sake of design. They should have a complete story on top. You can create enough of joy putting parcels of rice in a pandan leaf wrap or putting it into a banana boat. You can make messy gravies either coming out in a cute cup or you putting it in a treasure box with a nice parcel of rice. The stories do not necessarily need that every time you need to plate it. The overall impact of a dish comes by the story that you are putting behind it. If it's a heritage dish, you could put it in a heritage bowl. If you want a tiffin to go and you really put a tiffin, old brass tiffin, and carry out a nice metal platter with banana leaf to show its authenticity, that itself is good looking food. I think we can go on and on and on, and there could be a million ideas. If you want those million ideas, we are right here. Subscribe. We are here for you. One great shot story on good looking food every time you get on and meet us.